Welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. It is the 23rd of December at about 11 a.m. Pacific Time. I am live streaming this event on YouTube and Facebook. That's Katie Weaver, Domestic Mystic, if you'd rather watch than listen. I'm over in the 12 Radio chat room, and you can find that by heading over to 12radio.com. Click on the chat button, and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. In the Facebook chat, you will find my banner, and you'll find a link there for the live stream if you'd rather watch. So that's how to do that. Okay, well, good. You know what? I really overinvested time on this show this morning, which is fine. Believe me. I hope you're going to enjoy it. I have had a lot of fun putting it together, but it put me running late. I got in the shower 20 minutes before the show started, so if that tells you anything, I try to be ready 2 hours before the show, so I have plenty of time to do other things, you know, decompress, eat breakfast, talk to clients. None of those things happened this morning. And it's fine because I'm really happy to share with you what I've got today. First off, though, as promised, we went to, or as I told you last week, we were in Boise this weekend for Mars to graduate. And it was pretty freaking awesome. She was chosen to be an ambassador or a marshal for the school for her major, well, for her college, which was the College of Public Service. And so that was really fun because she got to be on the screen during commencement. There was a jumbotron of an interview with her. So I'm going to share a short piece of that with you for fun. But yeah, so she had high honors cords. She graduated magna cum laude. She had her first gen cords because Mateo was first, and now they're the first college degrees on their dad's side. And then, of course, she had her Marshall cords. So lots of honors for her, and she deserves it. She's worked her ass off. But here's a little bit of her interview.
I think my time at Boise State has taught me that there's so many different perspectives, and not to close your mind off to one specific perspective, because there are so many different people out there and so many different lives people are living. And so I think that it's really important that Boise State taught me like the diversity of people and how situations can change.
Sorry, the sound was terrible, but yeah, that was pretty fun to get to see that on the jumbotron. But anyway, great day. Scott cooked up a hell of a spread for about 30 people that came to the after party, and it was just a good time. And now I'm narrowed in on Christmas. I'm sure you guys are too. But ran my last kiln last night, so I'm just waiting for it to cool down. There's a couple of gifts in there. Well, actually a bunch of gifts in there because we always do Christmas Eve, and I thought it would be fun this year if I did a mug for everybody to drink I always do some kind of a like signature cocktail for Christmas Eve. So this year, the signature cocktail is going to be served out of your own mug that you get to take home with you. And so I finished glazing them last night, and they went in the kiln. So please tell me they all lived because I'm going to need that. But the kiln's too hot to look in yet. So I don't know how things did, but hopefully fine. So anyway, just lots of Christmas doings around here, and everybody is well. But let's get into the show. I think I'm going to need every bit of time I've got to get through everything. So we're going to head over to Luminous. Luminous, of course, is the magazine that I publish along with some help here in the 1-2 world from other contributors. And Luminous this week is Holiday Songs and Stories. Because I'm writing some songs that I wrote with the help of AI of some of my favorite Christmas and winter tales. So I'm going to tell you the story, and then we're going to listen to the song. But I also included all of them in my musings today as well, so that you have them if you want to go back and listen to them later. Christmas is an interesting time. The holidays are an interesting time for, well, little kids. They experience them very differently than older kids, than adults. Then so many of us that feel an intensified grief around the holidays as well. For people who don't have good Christmas memories, and Christmas serves as a trigger of very hard times. For people that are currently struggling in many ways. For people who don't have much in the ways of other people around them, the holidays can be a terrible trigger. It's definitely a mixed bag. But I was thinking about some of my favorite stories that my mom used to tell me as a kid, and that's where I wanted to go today. So we're going to start with the Snow Queen. The Snow Queen is a story. Let me get back to my notes. The Snow Queen was written by Hans Christian Andersen in 1845. Long ago, in a world where winter could listen and snow carried secrets, there lived two children named Gerda and Kai. They were not brother and sister, but they loved each other as though they were. Their homes stood so close together that they could look into each other's windows, and between them grew roses, brave little roses that bloomed even when the air was cold. They believed, as children do, that nothing bad could reach them as long as they stayed close. But one winter evening, as snowflakes danced outside the window, Kai felt something sharp strike his eye, and something colder still settle in his heart. It was said that somewhere in the world there existed a mirror so cruel that it twisted everything it reflected. Kindness looked foolish in it, beauty looked broken, and when the mirror shattered, its pieces scattered across the earth like invisible splinters. One of those splinters had found Kai. From that day on, the world looked different to him. The roses were no longer lovely. Gerda's laughter felt childish. And when the Snow Queen arrived, tall and pale, wrapped in silence and frost, Kai followed her without fear. She kissed his forehead, and all warmth left him. She carried him away in a sleigh pulled by the wind itself to her palace of ice, where feelings froze and tears could not fall. And Gerda was left behind. Gerda waited. Then she searched. And then, because love does not know how to give up, she set out alone in the wide world to find him. She traveled through gardens where flowers tried to make her forget, through forests where voices whispered doubt, across rivers, mountains, and bitter cold. She met kindness in unexpected places, a crow who believed in love, a princess who gave her warm boots, a reindeer who carried her across the snow. But it was Gerda's heart that guided her. When she finally reached the Snow Queen's palace, it was silent and endless. Everything was white. Everything was perfect. Everything was empty. Kai sat there pale and still, arranging pieces of ice into clever patterns. His eyes were cold. He did not recognize her. Gerda ran to him and wept, and her tears, warm, human, alive, fell on his chest. They melted the ice in his heart. She spoke his name, and her voice carried everything they had ever been: summer roses, shared laughter, the promise that love remembers even when we forget. The splinter fell from his eye. Kai cried then, truly cried, and the cold lost its power. The Snow Queen's palace cracked, and the wind no longer obeyed her. Hand in hand, Gerda and Kai walked home, and when they returned, they were no longer children, but they were still gentle, still kind, still able to see beauty clearly, because love, once chosen, does not freeze. And now the song.
We were children by the window pane, roses climbing through the cold, laughing at the falling snow, believing every story we were told. Then the night came, sharp and still, something splintered in your eye. Winter whispered your name, and I watched the warmth inside you die. The world grew hard, the colors drained, you couldn't feel my hand. But love does not freeze, love remembers the way, through the longest dark night, through the snow and the your shadow where the cold queens reign, and I cried you back home. Love does not freeze. You rode off with the northern wind, silver silence, glass and white. A palace made of perfect ice, where tears don't fall and hearts don't fight. Across gardens sweet with lies, forests thick with fear and doubt. Every step said turn around, but my heart kept calling out. I lost my way, I lost my breath, but not your name. 'Cause love does not freeze, love knows the road, through the hunger and ache, through the bitter cold. I walked every mile just to see your face, and I cried you back home. Love does not colder, if sorrow steals your sight, I will be the summer, I will stay the night. Love does not freeze, it melts the stone, it breaks the spell, it brings us home. No mirror can steal what the heart still knows. I cried you back home. Love does not freeze. We came back older but gentle too, seeing beauty clear and true. Roses bloom where winter ends. Love remembers. Love begins.
And that's the story of the Winter Queen. And now moving on to a story that my mom used to tell me when I was a kid. From the time I was little, I remember hearing this one and always thinking about Della and all of that beautiful long hair. It's The Gift of the Magi. The Gift of the Magi is a short story that was written by American writer O. Henry, first published in 1905. $1.87. That was all Della had. She counted it once. She counted it twice. And then, just to be sure, she counted it again. Pennies saved carefully over time, with small sacrifices that no one ever notices. And now Christmas Eve had arrived, and this was what she had to show for it. Della sat on the little couch in their small apartment and cried. Not because she had so little, but because she wanted so much to give Jim something worthy of how deeply she loved him. Jim was her world. They didn't have much. Their apartment was modest, their life simple. But love filled the spaces money could not. Della stood and wiped her tears. Then she looked at her reflection. Her hair, long, thick, and shining, fell past her knees like a warm living curtain. It was her one treasure. Jim loved it. Everyone did. An idea formed, quiet and brave. Della wrapped her coat tightly around herself and hurried through the winter streets until she reached a small shop with a faded sign in the window. She sold her hair for $20. With the money clasped in her hand, she searched and searched until she found the perfect gift, a simple, beautiful platinum chain for Jim's watch. His watch had been passed down through his family, but he carried it on an old leather strap, worn thin with time. The chain would honor it. It would honor him. Della hurried home, heart racing, cheeks flushed, already imagining Jim's smile. She curled what remained of her hair and waited. When Jim came home, he stopped just inside the door. He stared at her, not in anger, not in disappointment, but in stunned silence. Della rushed to explain, words tumbling over one another. She told him it would grow back. She told him she couldn't let Christmas come without giving him something special. Jim crossed the room and held her. Then he held out his coat and placed a small package into her hands. Inside was a pair of beautiful tortoise-shell combs. Elegant and delicate. Combs Della had admired in the shop window for months. Combs for hair she no longer had. They laughed then, softly, tenderly, because somehow in that moment the loss didn't matter. Jim confessed he had sold his watch to buy the combs. 2 gifts, 2 sacrifices, perfectly useless and perfectly meaningful.
$1.87. I counted every prayer. The room feels small tonight, but my love fills the air. I wanna give you something that says what words can't do. So I stood beneath the winter light and chose my love for you. They say it's just hair, but they don't understand what I'd give away just to hold your hand. If love is measured in what you're willing to lose, then I'm richer tonight than I ever knew.
I walk these streets with empty pockets,
But a steady heart,
your smile's worth more than anything I'd
heart that watches told our time through hunger, hope, and rain.
But I saw those coals and I knew your name.
They say it's just time ticking on a chain, but love's not something I could ever save. If love is measured in what you're willing to give,
Then I've
already won, just knowing how you live. We gave what we had, we gave what we were, every small sacrifice, every quiet blur. The gifts may not fit the life that we chose, but love was the present we already hold. I'm sorry, my hands are empty now.
They were never empty.
We gave what we had, and somehow that's enough. In a world counting coins, we counted on love.
Let the night understand what the wise already see.
The greatest gift given was you choosing me.
No gold, no chain, no perfect
disguise, just love looking back through familiar eyes.
I love that. I've always loved that story. Always thought about Della and the hair. Always wondered what would happen. What did they do next? I mean, she could save the combs, her hair would grow back. Maybe they could save the chain. Maybe Jim would eventually get another one. I don't know. But a story like that to me of sacrifice and of giving what you have for people that you love, I love that. Now, this show couldn't be complete without talking about 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. The Night Before Christmas was originally titled A Visit from St. Nicholas. It was written by Clement Clark Moore, first published anonymously in 1823. Our more modern day idea of who Santa Claus is, well, 200 years ago, was built a lot based on this poem. Now, this song, I don't know. I really liked it, but it was hard for me to listen to it and not want to impose other songs I've heard with this prose, but I'll let you decide. But first, I'm going to read it to you. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mamma in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled down for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver, so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick. More rapid than eagles, his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen, as dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes all were tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night." And the song I imagined as a lullaby.
'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that Saint Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, gave a luster of midday to objects below. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and a tiny reindeer with a little old driver, so lively and quick. I knew in a moment it must be Saint Nick, more rapid than eagles as coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys and Saint Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof, as I drew in my head and was turning around down the chimney. Saint Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger beside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim ere he drove out of sight, Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Now, what could Christmas be without Ebenezer Scrooge? Frankly, I think we could all use a bit of that reflection. It's my greatest Christmas wish that a lot of people in this country, and I'll take my lumps too, have those kinds of supernatural visitors this Christmas. Seems like we could use some serious wake up calls. A Christmas Carol was a novella that was originally published by Charles Dickens in 1843 by Chapman and Hall. And I'm just going to read a short excerpt. Scrooge awoke with a violent start, rubbing his eyes and sitting bolt upright in bed. The darkness of the room was broken only by the glow of a single spirit, standing calm and bright beside him. It was the ghost of Christmas yet to come, silent, solemn, wrapped in shadow. Scrooge trembled. He had been shown many things that night: lonely rooms, uncared for deaths, the cold indifference of a world that barely noticed when a hard man was gone. And for the first time in his long life, Scrooge was afraid not of ghosts, but of himself. "Spirit," he said, his voice shaking, "are these the shadows of the things that will be, or only of things that may be?" The spirit did not answer. Scrooge sank to his knees. "Why show me, if I am past all hope?" he cried. "I will honor Christmas in my heart, and try to keep it all of the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I shall not shut out the lessons they teach." He clutched the spirit's robe. "Oh, tell me! I may yet change these shadows you have shown me, by an altered life." The hand pointed slowly downward. Scrooge followed its direction and found himself alone. He was back in his own bed. The curtains were drawn. The room was quiet. "I am not torn down," Scrooge said, laughing and crying all at once. "They are not torn down. The shadows of the things that would have been many may be dispelled. They will be dispelled." He sprang from his bed with a joy he had never known. "I don't know what day of the month it is," he said. "I don't know how long I've been among the spirits. But I know one thing. I am as light as a feather, as happy as an angel, as merry as a schoolboy." And for the first time in many years, Scrooge opened his window, not to shut the world out, but to greet it.
I counted every candle and locked every door, measured all my living by what I could store. I told myself the cold was safer than the flame, built my walls from habits, an answer to my name. But the night had questions I could not outrun, and silence held a mirror I couldn't look from. I will keep Christmas in my heart and hands, not just in the singing or the best laid plans. I'll keep it in the mercy I forgot I knew. I'll keep Christmas by choosing you. The past came knocking softly with laughter and regret. The present showed me hunger I tried hard to forget. The future stood in shadow, pointing, saying, "See." And I recognized the stranger staring back at me. I fell down on my knees in the long dark night and asked for one more morning, one more chance to do right. I will keep Christmas in the way I change, and opening the window and breaking the chain. I'll keep it in the kindness I forgot was true. I'll keep Christmas by choosing you. keep Christmas all the year through. In every small mercy, in what I undo. Let the bells remind me, love is what I choose. I'll keep Christmas by choosing you. When you choose to live away.
And that's it. So many of these stories were written in the 1800s, the turn of the 19th century, or the 20th century. They're so old, and yet their messages, I think, continue to resound. At least they do to me. Because most of them are wrapped around love and loving each other and taking good care of each other. And if that's not what we're here for, then what? I love that saying that we're all just walking each other home because I think it's true. We know that charitable giving reaches all-time highs during the holidays. We know that people feel more compelled to help one another, and that's a great thing. I think the challenge is to continue to carry that energy throughout the year. It is really easy in our current world to get jaded. I think it's really easy to get hardened and to fall into the old idea that has been introduced to us way too many times, that it's every man for themselves. And we see people on our planet that operate just that way. We see extremely wealthy people that operate that way, and maybe that's why they got to where they did. I don't know. But I think we need constant reminders that we are here to do good for each other, for ourselves, for our planet, for the four-leggeds, for all beings. This is a good time to remember that this time of year. And that, of course, includes yourself. So I think it's my wish for this holiday for all of us that somebody shines a little grace on us and that we remember to shine a little grace on someone else too. This is my last show of 2025. I'm going to take a break next week, so no Katie Weaver show and no Luminous. I will, however, be present on the lines where I am every day. I am a professional psychic advisor over at 12listen.com. And I am there daily. If you ever head over there and you need to talk to me and I'm not available, just go ahead and do a callback request or schedule a call. And that way I get a text that lets me know that, hey, somebody is waiting to talk to you. And I can get signed in and be available for you quickly. I mean, I'm probably just on a podcast because that seems to be what I do. But that's how to get a hold of me. I can help you with mediumship, animal communication. I do a ton of energy work over on the lines. Sometimes you just need some help making a decision or need a little shot in the arm. Be happy to help you with whatever I can. It's my honor. It's my work, but it's also my life's work. So please let me help you and support you if I can. It would be my greatest honor. I want to thank you all for listening, whether you're listening now or to a replay or an archive. I appreciate you guys. I love you. You're a part of my world, and I appreciate that very much. I don't take it for granted. I love that you're here. Thank you for everything. Please take good care of yourselves. And I'll see you on the flip side. I'll be back in 2026. This has been yet another production of The Katie Weaver Show here on 1-2 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.